what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris. I am back with another video here. The Flyers lose 2-1 to the New York Rangers. Damn, that sucked. That was really an unfortunate way to end a really good hockey game. The Flyers, unfortunately, don't generate their goals on the amount of shots that they have in this one. Credited with 40 shots. Third, I'm trying to pull this up real quick. Shots on goal for each period. 18 for the Flyers in the first, 5 in the second, 17 in the third. And they lose this game 2-1 to the Rangers off of some controversial plays in this one. Some really tight chances for the Flyers. I mean, it's so unfortunate. From being really good in the faceoff dot to the ton of shots on net to the power play being atrocious. Hits and block shots are about even for both teams. Rangers had a little bit of the edge in hits there, but the shots is intriguing. Flyers did not have a good second period. They went down 1-0. This kind of ties into what I've been saying about 𝐅𝐼𝐻. Personally, I thought 𝐅𝐼𝐻 could have had some sort of a chance on the second one. I get it. He was screened. It went right through him. I mean, it's one that's a typical 5-hole. And the other one, yeah, Rempe's a big guy. He's 6'7". He's in front of the net. Sometimes you just need to save. And that's where I really start to get with 𝐅𝐼𝐻, where it's like, how many games am I going to have to keep saying this? And I'm not necessarily blaming him because I thought he was good. But on some of the goals, it's like, dude, sometimes you just need a save, and he just didn't give it to them. And unfortunately, they do lose this game. Shesterkin was very good. The Flyers had a ton of chances, though. That's the main thing with this game. They had a ton of chances. Frost late. Coots at the buzzer. The power play going 0 for 4. It's like, oh, my God. And if this team, again, no 𝐷𝐂, and they played that well and had 40 shots on that, like, they have a response. They've done it all year. They can play with any team in this league. But when you don't have the offensive firepower, like the Rangers do with Panarin, Zibanejad, all those other guys, you're not going to be able to play in a game like that, and you just don't. And unfortunately, they lose this one 2-1. It was a really good game. I mean, I can't even be that mad at the effort. It's just like, it was just one of those games where it's like, if you had the offensive firepower, like, to me, if 𝐷𝐂's playing, this is a win. This is probably a 3-2 win. I can't really. This is not a game I see them losing. They go 11-7 again, same lines. Basically, the pairs were a little different, but they changed. But Forrester does come in, so a little bit of a change. No TK. Forrester comes in. So Tippett, Frost, Atkinson, Farabee, Couturier, Forrester, Cates, Paling, Hathaway, Delorier, and Lawton, York and Sanheim, Sealer, Walker, Stahl, Drysdale, Zamula was the 7th D. And again, like I said, Sam Ersson was in net. First period was very good for the Flyers. They were very good in the neutral zone. They checked. They forechecked really well. They got in, and they just created havoc. And I think they really used the speed. They had a ton of shots. Felt like for a while the Flyers had a lot of one-and-done chances, though, and that really carried over into the second. They only had the 5 shots. Had 4 for a while. A really good start. Delorier and Rempe, they just go at each other, and that was easily fight of the year. What a tilt that was. Tippett and Forrester both had chances early. There was a 𝐷𝐂 had a chance on 3-on-2 and tight. Flyers get a power play. It was a hook. Then they called an interference on Farabee. I'm sorry, that's not a penalty. They called interference because he stood in front of the stick and wouldn't let Shesterkin get the stick. So, okay, we're going to favor the goaltender because he couldn't play the stick because he dropped it and it sat right in front of Farabee. Okay, sure, let's favor the goaltender there. Because Shesterkin also, later in the game, is able to just shove Hathaway and get nothing. So he can just do whatever he wants, I guess, right? So he gets a penalty. He gets a penalty drawn because he can't hold his stick and drops it. And then he's able to shove Garnet Hathaway and just nothing. Okay, sure. So Flyers had a 10-0 advantage at one point on the faceoffs. They get a power play then a couple minutes later. They didn't really do anything with it. So that's over 2 in this period. Trocheck hit the post off the shot. Forrester had a shot off the rush. Really good period for the Flyers. Rangers get a power play. High stick on Farabee. Killed that off nicely. They didn't give them anything. Double minor high stick. One Hathaway. for a follow-through. Okay. So they call that. Before that, Sealer had a really nice play to break up a pass. I thought the game really settled down. I thought, as it kind of went on, there were ones later in the game, like Lawton hit the crossbar. Flyers were just dominant. They really got in on the forecheck. And what I really liked from the Flyers in this game was the way that they played in the neutral zone. They closed the gaps off. They really sealed everything. I mean, they didn't really give the Rangers a ton of time with their speed, because that's what killed them in the last game. I mean, they were up 2-0 in the first maybe minute 15, and it was like, wow, like what's going on? That was two different teams though. And that was a totally different Flyers team, and now you're in late February. You're still in the third. You're in a playoff spot, right? The whole thing. And they don't get any points out of this one. That's the really unfortunate part. Is like they really should have they should have won this game. With chances and everything. I'm sure the underlying numbers favored the Flyers in the third period too. Like, it's unfortunate. I thought some calls were a little ticky-tacky, especially that first one on Farabee, the interference. This one, it was a penalty. It was just frustrating because it's a double minor, and it's like, all right, now we got to kill it. But the Flyers didn't give them anything. Lawton hit the crossbar. Urson had a really nice save and title on Lafreniere, and then he would score. Lafreniere would score. There was a screen. Lafreniere, he really used that well, that screen. But again, it just goes through Urson. It's like, I feel like if it's going through him, I'm like, you got to have that. No, like, I mean, look, I get it. It's a really nice play and all that, but it just feels like there's times where it's like, dude, you need a save sometimes. And like, you just killed off a 4-minute power play, and like, it's just a momentum. It's a whole momentum swing. Game settled down. The Flyers did not look as crisp. They come out buzzing in the third, a couple of chances. Chaos in tight, bam. Tyson Forrester ties it at 1. He comes right back. He gets on the board. Great pass from Lawton behind the net. Really nice play. And then Rempe would score, and that would end up being the game winner. It's a shot from the point. The more I went back and watched it, and one of my buddies had texted me and said that he was like, is that goal interference? And I'm like, it could have been. They didn't challenge it. It didn't look like it was, but the more you look at it, it's like he was really in Urson's kitchen. So that one, it counts. It's 2-1, and that was Rempe's first NHL goal. Tippett has a backhander high. Oh my God, Sanheim. A 2-on-0. I mean, Sanheim literally has a 2-on-0, and he doesn't slow down. Like, oh my God. Like, he's got a 2-on-0. Lawton is right behind him. All you have to do, slow down, pass it back and forth, slam dunk, it's a goal. The game is tied, shorthanded. Like, what are we doing? And he goes in, and he has the worst breakaway attempt I've ever seen. They go down the other way. They have some chances. Flyers had so many. York misses on a 2-on-1. Tippett had a chance off the rush. Frost, late in the game. Drysdale, what a pass that was. That doesn't go in. Coots with, 4.2 seconds left. He misses it. He just hit the post. He tried to cram it, off the wall and kind of slam it in off the other way, and that doesn't go in, and they lose this game 2-1. It's just like, dude, it's one of the most frustrating games of the season, because it's a game where you played really well. You got absolutely curb stomped the last time you played this team at home off the rush. They killed you with their speed, their high-end players and all that. And the Flyers, again, they've had a response. I said it all year, but it's just one of those ones where it's like, if you have a full lineup and Konechny's playing, you win this game. One guy who I thought was completely non-existent in this game was Cam Atkinson. It would really be nice if Atkinson, I think, could do something positively to the lineup. And, I just feel like there's games where it's like, dude, like, what are we waiting for? Like, how much longer do we have to see this with Atkinson? Whereas, like, he keeps getting a bump in the lineup, and, like, he keeps getting able to play and everything, and it's like, yes, he did, lose out on special teams and all, but he's still playing top 6 and all that. Like, I mean, come on. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I get it. He's been struggling and the injuries and all that and everything, but it's like, what is he really doing to positively affect your lineup? That's my question. Like, some guys, yeah, they might have off nights, like Lawton. You know what I mean? Like, they've had off nights and stuff. Paling, whoever, Hathaway, whatever. Farabee. Even Konechny at times has been off. I thought Tippett was a little bit off today too, but he had a ton of shots, but he didn't look like how Tippett usually could, in my opinion. But Atkinson, it's just like, dude, look, what are you doing? Like, I don't get it. I really don't. And I like Cam. I do. I think he's a good player. I think he's effective when he's useful and when you see that, and you just didn't today. So it's unfortunate they lose this game 2-1. We got Pittsburgh tomorrow. Peterson in net. Should be a good one. Peterson came in and he was strong against Seattle, and he had a good game there. So we'll see. It should be interesting. Thanks everybody again for all the support as always. My name is Chris. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this one, and I'll talk to you all again soon.